Holy, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Romanpuss here with the top 5 non-EX characters in all of One Piece Bounty Rush. Now, EXs are obviously the top tier characters. They tend to be the strongest and the longest lasting, but sometimes those cost too many gems and you need something a little bit cheaper and more affordable, which happens to be Bounty Fests. Now, some of these Bounty Fests, also known as legendary characters, can be very long lasting and can go quite the distance, such as King, V1, the one that turns into a Pteranodon. You have ones like Jabra, you have ones like Charlotte Biscuit Boy. A lot of these can actually last a very long time and can be worth it for your gems, and some of them are fantastic support as well. So we're going to hop into the top 5 Bounty Fest or legendary characters, whichever you choose to call them, characters in One Piece Bounty Rush. Okay, now starting off in no particular order is going to be the one, the only Pacifista. Now, I don't actually own him or have him leveled up, but he is a phenomenal unit. The thing is, not very many people have him, and I don't have him as well, so I had to include my own alliance mate, literally just sitting here destroying me in 2v2s. He's actually phenomenal. This attack unit can sit there and ignore damage reduction. He can go through walls. He has knockbacks. He has a shield, which shield users tend to be some of the most busted units, at least as of the meta right now. And he has a lot going for him. What is the Dark Attacker is actually insane. Mans can put out the damage. Mans has the shield to protect him. He is fairly squishy if you can get past the shield, but if you can't, then it's a whole different situation. So Pacifista, I think overall, is a phenomenal unit. I think he brings a lot to the table and damage, and he can help your team put in a lot of work overall. So I love this unit. I think a lot of people don't have him, and a lot of people don't use him just because they don't have him, really. So is the main reason. So I think that he is worth investing. He can put out the damage. He can kill a lot of units in the current meta. And what more need I say? Next, we're going to move on to the Defender Light Kaku. I really enjoy this unit. I think he's fairly easy to play, so he's welcoming to new players. And on top of that, he's able to stop a lot of the main runners who exist in the meta. So he can stop Shanks, the light runner Shanks. He can stop the dark runner Roger. So those two units are the most prominent runners, I would say, in the meta right now, and he can put a halt to them provided his flag is charged. So he is great there. He can ignore defense, so he can hit people there. There are certain units that you need to watch out for, but overall Kaku can bring a lot to the party. He's got high levels of damage reduction. He's got skill damage increase. He has that spin to win that he can just sit there and hold, which gives him even more damage reduction. And then he's awakened Kaku. I mean, I don't know if it gets any better than that, but he brings a lot there. And on top of that, he can charge the flag to 150%, as well as charge the flag really, really fast. So I really enjoy playing him. I think he is very great in the meta. He does have his weaknesses, but you need to watch out for those. There's people that you need to watch out for, like Jabra. Lucci actually happens to counter him, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. And then Shanks' anti-heal is the only thing that can be problematic. I think if you don't get anti-healed, you're generally fine, because you are immune to immobilizing status effects on your flag, which helps a lot when it's charged enough. So overall, he is kind of bottlenecked or limited by the charge level of his flags overall. But as long as you're sitting on a full capped flag, like I think it has to be 120% or more, and you're golden. So if you just keep it that high, you'll be sitting, you'll be cruising, you'll be holding your flags left and right. Now, if you step off your flag, you are rather vulnerable, so keep that in mind as you're playing the game, and stay on your flag as a defender. That's all I need to say. Next, we're going to move on to kgra. Homeboy is huge. I think he is a very unimpressive unit, particularly in terms of what he's brought in terms of flashiness, but I mean, he didn't really show that much in the anime as it is, so like what else could they have really done for him? I'm impressed that we got him. He has large amounts of attack. He does get a defense buff. He gets attack buffs based off of flags being taken, so it helps if you're in a tons of treasure meta. I think someone like kgra will actually thrive a lot because these metas come and go fairly often, and the tons of treasure one sticks around. So overall, I think he's huge. He's great for stopping Roger. He can do some good damage and put Shanks down a little bit as well. The attack buff's huge. You really just need to watch out for S. Snake is one of his biggest killers and status effects. But if they are red or if they are a dark unit, you will absolutely annihilate them. And honestly, it's people like kgra are the main reason that red units are kind of bad right now for the most part. They're with a few exceptions, but most red units tend to be a little bit weaker in the meta as we are right now. So blue's reigning supreme for whatever reason, and there are some main green stoppers, but there's just a bunch of blue in the meta. It's blue and then light and dark that's really shining right now. So your skills do ignore damage reduction. They do stop the revives. It's all around big like utility for your team. He's a very good like defender type attacker, if I'm being honest. All right, now this next one, I'm sure has to come to no surprise if you know the character himself is Bluno. He is a blue runner. He has the ability to take flags as long as you don't have an ally on the flag. So no matter the enemy, the main reason he is so strong is because of S-Snakes being everywhere. He's able to take the flag directly from S-Snake if he just wants to. So it is very nice to have a Bluno on your team when you have a fighting against a bunch of S-Snakes, as it will allow you to actually make some ground and progress in the game. So he has huge amounts of damage reduction when he's taking a flag and the enemy's on it. He has 80%. He's immune to knockback. He's immune to, status effects. He's got so much going for him. Now, you are killable by status effects right after you take a flag, but when you're using either of your skills or while you're taking a flag, you are immune to status effects, which are most of the times that you're like vulnerable. And if you press and hold your skill 1, you just sit there and spin and you can heal 30% for free just for hitting someone. So it is so nice. He has so much sustain. And on top of the extreme mobility he has from spinning around with his skill 1, he also has the ability to just teleport to flags. He can teleport to the closest one by simply clicking his skill 2. Or if you press and hold your skill 2 and just keep it held down, you will be able to teleport to the farthest flag away from you, whatever that location tends to be on the map. And if there's no flags to teleport to, then you'll get a defense buff for it instead. So, I mean, I guess it's something better than nothing. So overall, Bluno, one of the greatest runners in the meta right now. He's very phenomenal and able to cook hard. So I think Bluno is a definitely like almost near must summon type of unit. The CP9 tends to reign supreme. The damage reduction, honestly, you do like a little bit of damage, or you can at least be annoying and just go take flags extremely quickly. Like, oh my god, it's disgusting. So I love Bluno. I strongly recommend summoning for him if you do not have him. Fully build HP and defense. That's how you should rough that out. That's enough said from there. Okay, my last unit is going to be the one, the only. I'm sure this is no surprise. Again, not in any specific order, but he does happen to be the strongest one. Is the green attacker Jabra, user of the Wolf medal. Happens to rival Lucci, debatably or arguably better than any of the Luccis we've had in any of the metas. He has a shield. He has multi-hits on his skills. Well, I believe he hits 10 times on his skill 1, and he hits, 4 times on his skill 2. But it has, like, several different arrows that it can go, so it can actually hit, I think, like, 16 times because there's, like, 4 different arrows. Anyways, he has huge amounts of damage, and here's the thing, he's the most unique character in the meta as of right now at the time of this video, is he's the only one who has skills that scale off of defense. So, no other person, everyone else's skills scale off of attack, which is kind of unfortunate for a lot of defenders, because this would be very useful for defenders. But he gets a 50% defense buff, which is attacks scale off of defense, so it's basically like giving him the equivalent of a 50% attack buff on his skills only, not his basic attacks. Those are just regular based off attack. He has that. He's immune to status effects while being on the enemy flag. He recovers that shield using his skill 2 relatively quickly. He has so much going for him overall. He's resistant to knockbacks, resistant to this immobilizing status effects, stagger, all of that. So he can destroy a lot of defenders and take them off their flags. And his main use right now is taking S-Snake out of the meta, which is phenomenal because she can be very obnoxious and she does apply that attack debuff and remove attack buffs. But since you scale off defense, it really doesn't even matter. So shout out to Jabra for kind of saving the game a little bit, but also kind of making it a huge pain. But alright, you guys, that is my overall top 5 Bounty Fest or legendary character, I would say, in the current meta right now. So we'll see. This may change as new Bounty Fests come out, so I don't know how well this video will scale, but we'll see. So hopefully you guys found this video useful. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe if you did. Check out me out on Twitch, Twitter, Discord. Those links are down in the description below. But let me know who's your favorite Bounty Fest character. And I'm Romanpuss, and I'll catch you on the next one. Yeah, holy! Peace, beautiful people.